Sir, can you please explain what is love exactly?
At the most fundamental level, it has to be tied again to the fundamental human condition itself. You're not right. You want to be right. That's love. You're suffering. You don't want to suffer. That's love. You are in bondage. You want to fly in the sky. That's love. At the inner level. Between persons, the one who can help you fly in the sky is the one you ought to love. Instead, we often find ourselves loving those who propose to us with chains. No? Come hold my hand. I'll give you a mansion to live all day in. And you'll think that's great love. No, you are being confined to a mansion.
So, another question, when you told him that sometimes we have to be daring to challenge our own relationship, that if it doesn't happen, I'm walking out. Doesn't it enforce, doesn't it kill their own free will?
There is no free will. There is no free will. If there is free will, then they are already free. Then why do you need to disrupt the relationship? How can an unfree entity have free will? Your desires, your thoughts, hopes, ambitions, they are all conditioned. They are very unfree. Tradition, media, influences, biology, movies, culture, they decide even your most intimate matters. Where is freedom really? So, it's not a question of free will, because there is no free will.
But sir, then who am I to force someone?
That's a good question to answer. That's a good question to answer. Yes. The kid is putting his finger into the electric socket. Who are you to stop it? Let the kid exercise its free will. Who are you? And obviously, the question is not just rhetoric. Because first of all, you have to be more mature than the kid. Right? It is actually possible that the kid might be doing nothing wrong, and you are worse than the kid, and you pull the kid away or slap it or do something very stupid. So you have to decide whether really you are in a position to help.
In this same concept, how do we stop moral arrogance? How do I understand if I think I know something that is right? Is it my duty to tell you that even if it wounds you fatally, not fatally, even if it wounds you a lot, even if it breaks the fabrics of our relationship, is it still my duty?
It all depends on the intensity of your love. You see, if you are speaking to an unwilling one and telling him things he is not yet ripe enough to appreciate, it will hurt him and he'll retaliate. So it depends on the intensity of your love whether you want to suffer the retaliation. Are you getting it? There are those who are ready to listen, and it's good to talk to them. But it takes a lot of heart to talk to those who do not want to listen. You don't talk to them. First of all, you chase them, because they would never come to you on their own. So first of all, it takes a lot of stamina to chase them, and always chase them because they want to run away. Even if you somehow gather them, they want to run away. So there is always a bit of coercion involved. And then if you have gathered them and you speak to them, it will hurt them, and there will be a reaction, a retaliation. What remains to be seen is how much can you suffer for their cause. That's where your love is tested. And that's not an obligation, by the way. You can always say, I'll speak only to the willing ones. Why should I risk my own wellness, my own peace, sometimes even my own life, for the sake of unwilling idiots? You can always say that. A point comes when you don't want to say that. A point comes when you find yourself unable to say that. A point comes when you find you can't help risking your own wellness, because something is just so important, so urgent. It deserves a sacrifice, maybe. Yes.
So when you mentioned that to change someone else, you have to be mature yourself. But what do you mean exactly by mature? In a case of a small child, for example, a toddler, they question a lot of things. Maybe the parents, they might have questioned when they were toddlers, but may have forgotten. And then they learn newer things from the toddler, from their questions. Or another example is if we keep pets, by observing what the pets do every day, we can learn about our own basic biology, which might be common between us, our needs and stuff like that. So, in this case, the toddler or the pet, generally we do not consider them as mature than the adult.
Yeah, but you are more mature because you can learn by looking at the dog, and the dog cannot learn by looking at you. So you are more mature than the dog.
And in the case of the toddler, when the
Same thing. A good indicator is if you can look at the other and see your erstwhile self there, then there is a realistic chance that you have matured. When you look at the other and you see your former self there, the self that you have outgrown, then there is a realistic chance that yes, you are in a good position to help. You see someone committing the same mistakes you made in the past, there is a chance you are qualified to help. And there is risk involved. I just said chance. Chance is risk. Yeah.